Inside a Kid's Head. This personally conducted tour through the brain of a 12-year-old boy was arranged in script form by Jerome Lawrence and Robert E. Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready now? Very good. Right this way, please. Just follow the guide.
We are now standing inside the brain of Richie Price. This is not usually included in the 55-cent tour, but excuse me, ma'am. Don't stand too close to those nerve centers. High voltage, you know.
Oh, sorry.
Right now, Richie's in his history class in grade 7B at Patrick Henry Junior High School. We are now standing at the medulla oblongata looking to the cerebellum.
Pardon me, guide. What is all that over there? It looks like wool.
That is wool, madam. This boy has been wool gathering quite a bit lately. You will notice that the walls here are lined with gray matter, which absorbs any ideas that may be floating about.
Oh!
What was that, guide?
That was just an idea going in one ear and out the other. And look, over there.
Where?
Peeking out from behind those brain cells. It's a little date.
A what?
A date. It's so hazy I can't quite make out the year. Oh yes, it's 1215 AD. Cute little fellow, wasn't he?
Are all dates as shy as that?
No, I'm afraid this boy doesn't have a very good memory for dates.
Guide, what did you say this boy's name was?
Richie Price, ma'am. Now, if you'll just follow me up this passageway, we'll have a look at the cerebrum. Oh, careful you don't slip into that crevice.
My, it's deep. What is it, guide?
Lapse of memory. A big one, too. We're now coming into the cerebrum, the largest section of the brain. On the right, you see the master control panel for the automatic functions such as heartbeats, digestion, breathing, and so forth.
Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
That must be the breathing mechanism.
That's right, ma'am. And here's the digestion control.
4 more licorice drops coming down the epiglottis.
Okay, better keep a little more gastric juice.
Right, Chief.
Master control, go ahead.
Stop it, Colin. Look, Chief, I'm gonna be upset if this eating between meals isn't cut out. I haven't even digested those peanut butter sandwiches that come down for lunch. We gotta get some rest down here.
Well, I'll shoot up Ego up to Common Sense Department and see if we can get him to conserve the food intake. But we haven't been getting much cooperation from Common Sense lately. Do the best you can.
Okay, Chief.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, it's quite a complicated apparatus. Now, folks, we've installed an observation booth on the second floor of the cranium. Right up these stairs. From this booth, you can see and hear everything that goes on in this boy's dome. Through these double doors, please.
Oh, this is nice.
Plush chairs and everything. Can we smoke?
No. Board of Health says no smoking. Might cause a fever. Now, just a moment. I'll turn this loudspeaker on the main thinking channel.
And, children, King John, absolute monarch of England. Anything he said was law.
That's his history teacher talking.
But King John wasn't a good king. He mistreated his subjects, and that's why his barons made him sign the Great Charter. Now, close your history books, children, and we'll take up the general science lesson for today.
Reception isn't very good. I'm afraid this boy Richie Price isn't paying much attention to his teacher. Uh-oh, the imagination is coming in on the same wavelength. This ought to be interesting.
Now look here, King John. You've been acting awful bossy lately, and we barons are getting pretty sick of it.
What dost thou propose, Sir Richie? Thou hast no right to challenge the King of England?
Well, now, your majesty, we barons have been talking this over just between ourselves, and we come to the conclusion that people ought to have a say of what's going on around here. How about it, boys?
Yes, sir, Richie.
Yeah, we're with them.
To the last man.
Please, Father, why don't you do as Richie asked? He's so handsome.
This is none of thy concern, Princess Mary Jane. My liegeman, this is treason.
Just get down off your high horse, King John. All we're asking you to do is put your name on this hunk of paper so folks don't have to worry about you not treating them right. Now, I happen to have a fountain pen right here in my suit of armor. If you'll just sign on the dotted line.
I refuse. Thou art traitors, all of you.
We mean business, King John. You better sign, or we'll have to get tough.
Sign the paper!
Sign. We
Your
demand our
Majesty,
signed
sign the
charter.
paper!
Does no remain loyal to his king?
We're loyal, King John, but we just don't like the idea of you having your way all the time. We want some say-so too. That's only fair.
Sir Richie is right. Sign, Father.
Yes, if you want to keep your throne.
Very well, Sir Richie. Give me the pen. There, take your old paper.
Hooray!
Sir Richie, you're so wonderful.
There was nothing.
All right, Richie.
Gentlemen, we shall call this one the Magna Carta.
3 cheers for Sir Richie.
Hooray for Sir
Sir
Richie!
Richie.
Richie.
Uh-huh. Yes, Miss Ludlow?
Will you stop daydreaming long enough to answer the question I just asked?
Why, King John?
And 14 years of teaching, this is the first time a pupil ever told me that King John invented the sewing machine. Wait, class, for tomorrow, study chapters 8 in your general science books. Class dismissed.
Oh, come on. You want to play ball at my house today? Come on.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I want to.
Oh,
I got some new Pokemon cards.
Richie?
Yes, ma'am?
Richie, what do you think we should do with a boy who doesn't pay attention in class?
I don't know, ma'am.
Do you think we should give him a note to take home to his parents?
Do we have to do anything that, severe?
I'm afraid so. There you are. I want you to take this home and have your father sign it and bring it back to me.
Yes, ma'am. Mary Jane! Hey, Mary Jane!
go away, silly. I don't want to be seen walking with you.
Gee whiz, Mary Jane. What's the matter?
'Cause you silly. That's what you are. Why don't you ever study your lessons?
I do, but I just forget or something.
You need to ask me to walk home with you? Billy Wrinkler already asked me.
Him? Oh, gee whiz.
What's that, guy?
Keep your seats, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing to worry about. That low gray fog you see rolling in from a cerebellum is nothing but gloom. Pure gloom.
Richie, just you wait until your father sees this note from Miss Ludlow.
Do we have to show it to him?
Complete lack of classroom spirit, it says. Your father will be furious.
Maybe we hadn't ought to bother him when he's so worried about the election.
When those boys and girls go home and tell their folks the kind of boy you are, do you think that they'll vote for Daddy next Tuesday?
I don't know.
Good heavens, your father will be home any minute. Be sure to brush your hair and clean your fingernails, Richie, before dinner. Your father's invited the Winklers over.
Billy, too? Is he coming?
Yes, and I want you to be a little gentleman.
Oh, nuts.
After all, Mr. Winkler is one of the most important men in the county.
He's fat, that's what.
And if we want Daddy to be elected state assemblyman, we'll have to be very nice to the Winklers. Good heavens, the carpet in here is all scuffed up again. Richie, get out the vacuum cleaner and run it over once. The Winklers are so fussy.
Okay, Mom. Ugh, Billy Winkler, he's a stinkler. Billy Winkler, he's a stinkler. Now it's vacuum cleaners. Vacuum cleaners and sewing machines. Who cares about them? Someday I'll invent something big. Like an airplane. Zoom, 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 zoom. I guess there's dirt on the carburetor. We'll have to take the motor apart.
Say, fellows, there's a lady here who wants to meet you. She says her name's Miss Ludlow.
Better watch out, Mac. She might be an enemy spy.
Nah. Miss Ludlow, these are the greatest inventors in the world. I want you to meet the Wright brothers. This is the oldest, Richie Wright.
Glad to know you, ma'am.
And this is his younger brother, Richie.
How do you do?
We'd like to give you more of our time, ma'am. But my brother and me are busy inventing the fly machine. Got that carburetor cleaned out, Richie? You bet, Richie. Okay, Mac. Crank her up.
Contact?
Contact? Okay, we're gonna take off now.
Good luck, boys.
Here we go.
Boy, look at that cloud of dust.
Congratulations, Richie. It flies. You know what's called an invention, Richie? What, Richie? The airplane.
What the devil are you doing, Richie? Put the bag back on the vacuum!
What's happened? Oh my! Dust all over my nice clean living room!
For Pete's sake, shut the thing off!
Yes, Father.
Racing around the room, spraying dust all over the place!
Look at those piano keys!
What will the Winklers think the one night I wanted to impress them and the house looks like a pigsty? Good Lord, they're here!
I say there, Guy.
Yes, ma'am?
What's happening now?
Well, I think they're at dinner. I can't tell exactly.
Guide, look at that window at the observation booth. They're all covered with frost.
Richie's father's probably giving him an icy stare. That forms a glacial condition in the brain cells, and probably his thought stream is frozen.
May I have another helping of dessert, please?
You may not. As I was saying, JD, we all know how badly the State Highway Commission has been run. Now, if I'm elected state assemblyman, that graft is going to be stopped.
A lofty sentiment, Price.
Now, I have facts on this highway swindle that'll blow the opposition to bits. It's all typed out here in this article. But Jeff Green's newspaper won't print it. He's on the other side of the fence politically. What's the matter, JD?
Well, there seems to be a little dust in my coffee.
Oh, I'll get you another cup right away, Mr. Winkler. Gracious.
What are you kicking about, Pops? There's dust all over my mashed potatoes.
Be quiet, Billy.
Well, as I was saying, here's my idea, JD. Get an appropriation from the party's funds to print up and mail a copy of this expose to every voter in the country. The election be in the bag!
There'll be some more coffee along in a minute. Why don't we all go into the living room and have it in there?
Good idea. Richie, you take Billy up to your room and show him your electric train.
Oh, does he still plays with electric trains?
Run along, Billy.
Okay. Now, it may run into some money, JD, but as I see it, it's the only sure way to get the voters we need.
Come on.
Don't you folks ever clean your house?
Sure we do.
We got a maid that comes in every day.
Aw, who wants an old maid? This is my room.
Gee, it's small. Let's see your train.
It's all set up over here. It's got a variable speed rheostat, automatic signals, and I'll stop on a dime. Why? See, isn't that keen?
Nah, it's punk. That's for kids. What else do you got?
I got some boxing gloves. Here, try 'em on.
I don't like boxing gloves.
Come on, I'll show you something.
I don't wanna.
You said you didn't like kid stuff. Well, this ain't kid stuff. Come on, put up your dukes.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't you hurt me.
It's easy, see? You lead with your right and then with your left. Like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
A right to the body, and a left to the head, and another, and another. It's the old 1, 2, 1, 2. Dempsey's in rare form tonight. It's the fight of his life. Oh! The challenger just launched a terrific left to Dempsey's chin. He's reeling. The champ's against the ropes. And there's the bell that ends the round. The seconds are helping Dempsey back to his corner.
How are you, Richie? Are you alright, boy?
It was nothing, Mac. Give me that towel.
Don't forget, Richie Dempsey has never lost a fight.
Don't worry, Mac. I won't let you down.
It's not just the World's Heavyweight Championship that's at stake, or the $1 million purse, but Mary Jane has promised to walk home from school with the winner of this fight.
Did she really say that?
And what's more, she's out there in the crowd cheering for you.
Mary Jane? Here?
Hooray for Richie Dempsey!
Let me at that Billy Frippo.
They're coming out of the corners. Oh! And with the first punch of the round, Richie Dempsey knocks the challenger out cold. Mr. Dempsey! Mr. Dempsey! Won't you please say something to our radio audience?
Gentlemen, I'm happy to be heavyweight champion of the world.
Richie, what happened?
What's Billy doing on the floor? Wake up, son! Wake up!
We was just playing.
The boy's out cold! Mother, get some smelling salts!
Oh dear.
What happened?
Never mind, Mrs. Price. He's coming too. Are you hurt, son?
My chin hurts. He hit me on the chin.
Richie?
Would you mind getting our coats? I'd better get the boy home.
But JD, what about the election? What about...
We'll have to forget the whole thing for now. And Price, if that was my boy, he'd get a good talking to. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I guess Mr. Winkler was sort of mad. Wasn't he, Father?
Richie?
Yes, Dad?
You want me to be elected state assemblyman next Tuesday, didn't you?
Sure, Dad.
There isn't a chance now. Mr. Winkler was the only man who could get the article of mine published and circulated.
Would you like to take away my allowance for a week?
Richie, your mother and I are going to give you just one more chance. If I hear of you misbehaving just once again, something drastic is going to happen.
Gee whiz.
Is there any aspirin, Ellen?
Yes, it's in the medicine chest.
I'm going to lie down for a while. This is one of the most hectic evenings I've ever spent.
Mom?
Yes, Richie?
Did you give Dad that note from Miss Ludlow yet?
I gave it to him, but he just stuffed it in his pocket. I don't think he's read it yet.
You don't, huh? Mom, was that in his suit coat pocket or his overcoat pocket?
What gracious guide? What's that?
That's a 3-alarm warning from the conscience.
What's going on?
Is there any real danger?
Can't tell exactly yet. Evidently, young Richie's up to something he shouldn't be doing. I haven't heard a racket like that from his conscience since he cheated on the math exam 2 years ago.
Say, guide, isn't it getting fainter?
Yes, I'm afraid he isn't paying much attention to it.
Oh no, what's happening?
Let's tune in on the visual channel and see what he's up to. Do you see what he's doing? He's sneaking into his father's closet. He's reaching into his father's coat pocket. He's groping around in the dark. He's taking an envelope out of his pocket and slipping it under his sweater. Hang on to your chairs, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing to worry about. Richie's just going downstairs 3 steps at a time.
Hi, Matt.
Hey, Richie.
Put them papers to bed, Matt.
Yep.
Got much more to linotype?
Just the editorials. Then we're all washed up.
Will you let me type some?
Maybe. Well, spill it.
Huh?
Spill it. What's on your mind?
Oh. Gosh, Mac. Nobody understands me. Except you. You're the only friend I've got in the world.
Trouble at home?
Trouble every place. I guess I think my dad's chances of being state assemblyman. I got balled out at school. Mary Jane doesn't like me anymore. And everything.
Where was you running from just now?
Home. I said King John invented the sewing machine, and Miss Ludlow gave me a note to take home to my dad. All kinds of terrible things happened at home. So I took the note out of my dad's pocket so he wouldn't see it, and, well...
You went through your dad's pockets?
I didn't steal anything. I just borrowed the note for a while, so we wouldn't have to see it and worry about it.
Let me see that note.
Here.
Miss Ludlow write this?
Yeah.
I charge that the State Highway Commission is rife with graft and corruption.
Holy jumpin' Jupiter! I got the wrong paper!
I kinda wondered if Miss Ludlow was going into politics.
Oh, Mac, my dad will skin me. Everything's wrong now. Gee whiz, Mac, what'll I do?
Look, things will work out alright. What you gotta do is get your mind off your troubles. Why don't you go over and knock out a few lines on the other linotype?
Can I? Honest?
Sure, but watch out that you don't get a shock from that square D switch on the baseboard.
Thanks, Mac. Gee, thanks. Gosh, now what'll I write? Oh, Miss Mary Jane.
Yes, Mr. Franklin?
Bring your notebook in here. I want to give you some dictation for Poor Richie's Almanac.
Yes, Mr. Franklin.
Take a maxim. A penny saved is a penny earned. How do you like that, Miss Mary Jane?
A lofty sentiment, Mr. Franklin.
You may call me Richie if you like.
Oh, thank you, Richie.
And here's another one I thought of yesterday afternoon while I was in bed to the rocking chair. A stitch in time saves 9.
Oh, you're so clever, Richie Franklin.
Take those down to the press room and see that they get into this issue of Poor Richie's Almanac.
Yes, Mr. Franklin.
I have a free hour. What do you suppose I ought to invent?
You're the clever one, Mr. Franklin.
I know. It's an idea I had while I was in France last year buying Louisiana. Thought I'd call it the harmonica.
I'll take these maxims right down to the print shop.
Very well. Now, let me see.
Is there anything else, Mr. Franklin?
Well, it's all finished. Listen.
Oh, it's wonderful. You're so clever, Richie Franklin.
It's nothing, really. Come in.
Mr. Franklin, I have a scoop for the Poor Richie's Almanac.
Now, just calm down, young man, and tell me what this is all about.
Mr. Franklin, I charge that the Continental Congress is rife with graft and corruption. Here, this paper will explain everything.
Miss Mary Jane, would you please hand me my bifocals, please? Thank you. Why, this will blow the opposition to bits.
Every voter in the American colony should see a copy of this expose, and you're the only man who can publish and circulate it. And Poor Richie's Almanac.
It's very fortunate that yesterday I invented the linotype machine. Otherwise, we can never get this out in time for today's issue. Come with me.
What an amazing machine! Where did you ever get the idea?
It came to me like a flash while I was signing the Declaration of Independence. Give me that expose. I'll set it up myself. What was that?
It's beginning to thunder and lightning out. Mr. Franklin!
Lightning! That's just what I've been waiting for. Miss Mary Jane, give me my kite.
Here it is, Mr. Franklin.
I'll help you launch it, Mr. Franklin.
Thank you, son. There she goes. Now, hand me that key, Miss Mary Jane.
You are, sir. I wonder what he's going to invent now.
I think the kite's up high enough. Now, watch carefully, everyone. I'm gonna touch this key to that kite string.
Ooh. Ah. Ooh.
Gentlemen, I have decided to call my invention electricity. Ouch!
Richie, I told you you'd get a shock if you touched that square D switch. After all the times I let you play with the linotype, you ought to know better.
Gosh, I burned my finger, and it hurt.
Here, let me see it.
Ow!
That's kind of a bad burn. We better go next door and I'll give you some first aid. Joe, log up that editorial page, will you?
Guy, what's happening now? I can't see a thing.
Nothing's happening, ma'am. The boy's asleep and he's not even dreaming.
How come?
I think he's blown a fuse in his imagination. Besides, he's had a pretty tough day, but something ought to be happening soon. You see, it's morning already.
Richie, wake up.
That's his mother calling him now.
Wake up, Richie.
Huh? Say, what's going on downstairs?
Put on your bathrobe and come down. Just about everybody in the town's here. Your father's so excited he can hardly talk.
Gee whiz, now what have I done?
Price, that was the cleverest political move that you have ever made in the state. You're as good as his office right now.
Thank you.
That editorial of yours has blasted the state's highway commission wide open. What I can't understand, Price, is how you got the opposition paper to print that editorial of yours.
Well, you're not the only one, JD.
Mom, what's happened?
Well, that article of your father's is in the morning paper.
Oh, gee. Hey, what's Mary Jane doing here?
She came over with her father. Oh dear, I wish I put up those new curtains yesterday. Everybody in the town's here to congratulate your father.
A brilliant article, Price. Brilliant. Frankly, though, I didn't quite get the reference in that last paragraph to the Continental Congress.
Well, there are a number of people here who didn't understand that.
Ralph, I'm so proud of you. But how did that article get published?
Darn if I know. Somebody must have taken it out of my pocket and... Say, Richie?
Yes, Father?
You didn't happen to take anything out of my pocket last night, did you?
As a matter of fact, I did. But I just meant to get the note from Miss Ludlow because you were so upset. I got your article by mistake, and I was gonna put it back. Honest, I was.
But how in blazes did you get it in the paper?
Well, I went down to see Mac, and he let me play with the linotype machine, and I guess I set up your speech, and I guess Joe put it in the form. and I guess it got in the paper. Please don't be mad.
Mad? Folks, I want you to meet my boy Richie.
Hi, Richie.
Nice to see you, kid.
Gee whiz.
If I'm elected on Tuesday,
You will be, Ralph.
well, then all the credit goes to Richie here. If it wasn't for what he did, I wouldn't stand a chance to becoming the state assemblyman.
All right, good job, Richie.
Oh, Richie, I'm so proud of you.
Gosh, Mary Jane, you kiss me. Gee whiz, you kiss me on the cheek.
You know, I'd like to make a prediction right now. I'll bet dollars to donuts my boy Richie will be one of the great political leaders of his day.
Gentlemen, I shall be happy to speak at Gettysburg.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, it doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. Oh, the fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow. Oh, the fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Why don't you look where you're going?
Albert, will you please sit down? I'm driving this car.
Say, Ginger, where are you taking us anyhow?
To the cemetery. That's where. The way she's driving this car.
Sorry, everyone, but don't worry. I know where I'm going. It's a perfect place for a picnic. Albert, please sit back. I'm awfully tired of you breathing down my neck.
And I'm awfully tired of waiting to find a place to eat.
There's a place over there.
Ooh, yeah, that's very nice and green.
No, I've got a place all picked out. Twice as pretty as that.
Well, where is it? The South Pole?
Robert, do you have a little brother?
No, fortunately, I'm an only child.
I wish I were.
He doesn't like you much, does he, Ginger?
Oh, way down deep, I suspect he loves me.
No, I don't.
Isn't this more fun? Aren't you just thrilled to death?
What about?
Going on a picnic. I'm just thrilled to death.
Well, I'm glad somebody appreciates this idea of mine.
I'm having a good time.
Strange as it may seem, huh?
No, I'm really having a good time.
And you're about to have a better time, too. I have it all planned.
Listen, is there a place to go swimming? Where we are going?
I got the party up for you, Robert. Really.
I said, can we go swimming?
No! You work so hard.
Why?
You work so hard going to school all day and working at night, and...
I said, why?
Why what?
Why can't we go swimming?
Because it's too cold this early in the year, that's why. And with you studying and working, I just said you would like a day in nature more than anything.
It's good to get out.
Did you bring your poetry book?
Yup.
I'm so glad. I have it all planned. We're going to have a wonderful time. First we'll eat.
When?
And then you'll read poetry to us.
Fine. I like to read aloud.
Have you chosen any particular poems?
I said when!
When what?
When do we eat?
Oh, soon now, in a minute.
That sounds like Mom. Soon now, in a minute. In an hour, you mean?
Oh, is this going to be such a lovely picnic?
Just getting outside is what I like.
Don't you just love nature? Look at that green over there. Look at it.
Beautiful.
Breathe deeply, everybody. Let the fresh air sweep out all your musty winter thoughts. It's springtime.
Oh, look! Look! It's a baby cow! It's a baby cow! Look!
They call them calves.
Oh, isn't it darling? Isn't it just the darlingest thing? Oh, I'm having more fun.
I am too.
Albert!
I don't like this.
Wordsworth has some pretty good nature poems I could read, but I like Shelley better. Shelley's so sad, you know?
Yes, I know. It gets you here. Right in the heart.
I don't like this.
Albert, do please sit down.
Literature on the front seat and love on the back seat? I don't like this, and I'm hungry.
All right. We'll just stop. Hand me that lunch basket, Gwendolyn. I'll get you a sandwich, Albert. Of course, this is over the hill and around the bend that we're going to stop, but you've got to eat. Hey, everybody else is all right, but baby has to... Hey, Gwen, hand me that basket.
What?
Never mind. Passion? I'll get it myself.
The rest of us aren't hungry but you. Blossom is all right. She doesn't need a sandwich before time. I should think you would feel ashamed behaving in such a way before your girl.
Ah!
I'm so thrilled. I've never been out with a boy before.
You mean yet. Because you haven't been out with a boy yet. You're not out with me, and don't you think you are.
I am too with you. Sam and Gwendolyn are together, Robert and Ginger, and you and I. Ginger invited me for you, didn't you? Didn't you, Ginger?
Of course I did. You would never have come on this picnic if I hadn't invited you to come.
You mean he didn't have to come?
Yep.
You mean you deliberately brought him?
Yeah, isn't it funny?
What's so funny about it?
Oh, it's a plan of mine. A secret.
Oh.
He's just at that age, you know?
What age?
He's just getting interested in girls, and I want to help him all I can.
If you don't know what's good for you, Ginger, you're going to shut up.
You didn't hear her.
Here's the place.
Is this it? What's so wonderful about this?
This is beautiful. That's a magnificent tree. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree.
Isn't that too true? Almost too true for words when you think about it?
Oh, this is going to be more fun.
Out, everybody, out! Out! We'll have a picnic under that tree.
Under a spreading chestnut tree, the village smithy stands. I mean, picnic is spread.
Oh, these are the prettiest flowers. I'm going to pick me a bouquet. Let's everybody pick us a bouquet.
I say, I haven't felt so good in years.
Come on, everybody, out. Robert, you get the basket. No, you're supposed to rest. You lie down over there.
But the ground is a little damp.
It won't hurt. Lie down and relax. Albert, I said for you to take only one of those sandwiches. Blossom, don't go too far. We're going to eat soon. Get out, Sam, you and Gwendolyn.
I should be glad to help you.
No, you rest. Come on, Sam, you haven't done a thing. Go to the brook and get us some water.
Albert, you go get the water.
She told you to go.
Give you $1.
Let me see it.
The earth, the deep delved earth, it has a good smell, a rich, good smell.
You're so appreciative, Oliver. Robert. Here, have an olive.
If I don't come back, sign for my body.
Albert, you stay out of that brook, you hear? Come on, Sam, you and Gwendolyn.
We'll just sit here a while. It feels good in the sun.
They're in love.
Yes, I caught on.
They've been that way since the football season.
Don't they ever say anything?
Oh, once in a while they argue, but it's all right the next day.
Sounds sort of silly to me. A puppy love sort of thing.
Doesn't it, though? But of course she gets a date every night, and that's nice. I don't know why. She never says anything. She's my best friend, but I don't think she's very attractive, do you?
Well...
And she doesn't keep up with things. I mean, she never reads any good books or anything like that.
You want me to open up these pickles?
Not yet, unless you want one.
No, I don't eat pickles.
Don't you? Isn't that just a coincidence? I don't either. You know, we have a lot in common, and I think that's so important, don't you?
Yes, I do.
To have a lot in common and understanding, I think that those are the most important things in the world, almost.
I never have been understood.
No?
No, I haven't. I understand things, but somehow nobody ever understands me.
I don't see anything so hard to understand about you. But of course I don't know you very well, yet.
Hardly anyone knows the real me. I suppose I'm a mystic.
Are you really?
It comes out of my writings.
I wish you would let me read some of your writings sometime. Will you?
They're hard to understand. Sometimes I write things I don't understand myself.
Really?
They just come to me.
That must be wonderful.
Oh, no, it's painful.
Really?
Oh, very. Some nights I don't sleep at all. I just thrash and thrash on my bed, and then the next morning or sometime I write it all down.
You know what?
What?
No, I can't tell you. Oh, I just had the most wonderful thought, but I can't tell you.
Oh, please do.
No, I can't. But it was about you.
About me?
Yes, and it's something very nice, but I can't tell you.
Oh, you must.
All right. All right, I will. I bet you're a genius.
You think so? You think so?
Ginger, you invited Blossom on this picnic. Why don't you keep her to yourself?
He was undressing to go swimming, and I saw him. I saw him!
Albert, I told you to stay out of that brook.
I'm telling you to keep her away from me if you don't want a corpse on your hands.
If you go in that brook this early in the year, you'll be a corpse.
Yeah? I'm an Iron Man.
Then what are you doing with those flowers?
What flowers?
That bouquet in your hand?
I gave them to him, and he took them. He took them. He took them.
You.
You took them. You took them. You took them.
And you'll eat them if I catch you. You'll eat them. You'll eat them.
Wait a minute. Where's that water?
What water?
The water I sent you after?
Oh, I forgot that.
Then give me back my $1.
No, wait. I'll get the water.
Well, hurry. I want to make some lemonade.
But don't you let her follow me.
I will too follow you. This is a free country.
You won't follow me if you know what is good for you.
Whee!
I wonder if you're right. It all fits together. I don't want to appear struck with myself or anything like that, but it is funny, the way I feel sometimes.
What are you talking about?
Oh, something. Something between Robert and me.
Mm-hmm.
No. This is purely friendship. It's just that Robert and I have many things in common.
Oh, yeah?
Unscrew the top on this mayonnaise, Sam. And you can open this can, Robert.
Gosh! Why didn't you tell me this stuff was runny? Look! It's all over my new pants.
Sorry.
Hey, Gwen, lend me your handkerchief.
What for?
Well, what do you think for? Look.
What did you do? Spill something?
Oh, just give me your handkerchief.
To wipe that off?
Sure. What do you think?
I don't have a handkerchief.
Well, why didn't you say so in the first place? God, my new pants.
Come on, Gwen.
Are we gonna eat now?
Yeah, come on.
Suddenly, I'm not hungry anymore.
Why?
I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Oh, but I'm sure you'll enjoy everything we have to eat. And all outdoors this way?
That's just it. The outdoors. It seems rather a sacrilege to eat in the presence of all of this nature.
Now that you mention it, it does seem that way. So much beauty.
Of course, the cows and sheep and horses do.
Do what?
They eat all day. They stay out in this all day and they eat.
Yes, but man is not like cows and sheep. They are dumb brutes, but man is a thinking animal.
I don't know. There are times a man seems a perfect jackass.
That's very clever.
Thank you.
You have a very clever sense of humor, I think. And that's so important, I think. If there is one important thing in the world, it's having a clever sense of humor, I think.
Yeesh, Sam, that stuff on your trousers smells. I don't want to sit by you. I'll sit over here by Robert.
Oh, the beautiful outdoors. How can one think of satisfying the gnawings of hunger when one has such beautiful... Hachu!
Oh, Gesundheit.
Hachu!
Are you catching a cold?
Yes. Hachu! It must be this damp ground.
Nonsense.
But he sneezed.
Hachu! I wonder if I could borrow a handkerchief. I seem to be without one.
Here's mine.
Oh, thank you. Hachu!
Allergies. Oh, I feel so sorry for you.
But this isn't allergies. It's just this damp ground.
Oh, but it couldn't be in all this sun and air. Many people have allergies and don't know it. Light cases and they think it's something like damp ground that makes them sneeze.
But I'm sure this isn't allergies. Even a light case.
You can never tell.
Uncle Milton has allergies. He can't go to circuses because he gets it so bad from the camels and things.
Camels don't bother me.
But some people are bothered by things other people aren't bothered by. Does dust annoy you?
No.
Newly cut alfalfa?
No.
Cat fur?
Oh, no.
If you sneeze at night, it's probably because you sleep on the down pillow.
I don't sleep on any kind of pillow.
Perhaps you're sensitive to the pollen from flowers.
No.
I'll bet that's it. Pollen from flowers.
It never bothers me.
That's it. All these flowers around here. We'll move.
I like flowers.
Some kind of food. Give it to you, too.
But...
I wonder which food it could be.
But I tell you.
We'll throw it away, whichever one it is.
But I tell you, I don't have allergies.
Oh, but you can't tell. They have to test you.
If you don't mind, I'll finish opening this can. Ouch!
Gee, you cut your finger.
Let me see.
Ugh, that's the way with these can openers.
Here, let me see. Oh, it's only a scratch.
It seems rather deep to me.
Hold still. Oh no, it's quite minor.
It's bleeding pretty freely.
That's good for it. Here, let me squeeze it a little.
Ouch!
Here's a clean handkerchief. I'll wrap it.
No, let me. You know, I plan to be a nurse. If there is one important thing in the world, it's looking after suffering humanity, I think.
But you shouldn't use that handkerchief. That's the one he sneezed in.
Yeah, that seems unsanitary, Ginger. I should rather have Gwendolyn's clean handkerchief. Hey, Gwen, could you wrap it?
Here, let me.
I'll do it.
Of course, it really doesn't need a bandage. The light and air are good for wounds.
Ooh, that's fine.
It looks a little clumsy. I think I could tie it more smoothly. I know about those things. I had a bandage wrapping in Girl Scouts, and I planned to be a nurse, you know.
I'm quite satisfied.
Is everything ready?
Yes. Blossom, Albert.
What kind of sandwiches are these?
They're pimento. Oh, wait. Wait.
What's the matter?
We can't eat now. I just thought we must hike to that hill first. You see that hill? We gotta hike over there.
Why?
Because that's the way I planned it. We hike, we eat, and then Robert reads poetry to us. Isn't it lucky I remembered it? In a moment, everything would have been spoiled. I can't imagine whatever made me forget that.
I don't want to hike.
Oh, but we gotta. Come on, Robert, up.
You mean we're going to walk over that hill?
Certainly. It's not far, and there's a beautiful view. Sam, come on. Blossom, up, Robert. Albert, let's go.
But what about the lunch?
It's all spread, but we can leave it, hike over there, and back to stir our appetites. It will taste better than ever after we've done that.
I don't think my appetite needs stirring.
We'll be so hungry when we get back. Blossom, Sam, put the top on that mayonnaise. Albert, come on. Gwen.
I'd rather eat and then hike.
Oh no, first we hike and then we eat.
What's the matter?
We're hiking to the hill. Where's Blossom?
I drowned her.
Albert, you didn't.
Well, I pushed her under 3 times.
Are we going home now? Let's not go home now. Albert just pushed me in the brook and I had more fun. I'm having such a good time. I don't want to go home now.
We're not going home, dear. We're going on a hike. Come along.
Hiking? Oh, I just love hiking. I'm going to hike by you, Albert.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
Quick, let's not let them beat us. Come along, Gwen. You and Sam.
Gwendolyn. Wait,
Why?
you can't treat me this way.
What way?
No girl's going to treat me this way and get by with it.
You're the craziest thing.
I'm crazy. I'm crazy? Yeah, I'm crazy. But what about you?
I haven't the utmost idea of what you're talking about.
Well, you better get an idea.
Are you telling me what to do?
It's no concern of mine what you do only.
Only what?
Only any girl I go with has to have certain standards.
Are you insinuating that I don't have certain standards?
I'm not insinuating anything. I'm telling you.
If you think you can tell me what to do, you're just the utmost mistaken. No boy's gonna tell me what to do.
All right, if that's the way you feel about it.
That's just the way I feel about it. The utmost way.
Then I'll trouble you to give me back my senior ring.
No trouble.
And my junior pin.
Gladly. The gold is all worn off anyhow.
And that locket with my picture in it.
Here.
And I'll stop by your house on the way home and get all my letters back and that big picture of me in my football uniform.
You better come early, or I might throw them all out in the trash.
I'm glad to hear you say that. It shows me exactly what kind of girl you are.
Are you insinuating that I'm not the proper kind of girl?
You heard what I said, I guess.
And I guess I'll tell you a few things. Any boy who would behave the way you do is certainly no gentleman, not in the utmost.
And I guess the way you threw yourself at Robert was ladylike.
Who threw herself at Robert? I'll have you know I never threw myself at any boy.
Oh, no?
There's no need to be sarcastic. Was that what you were mad about?
Who was mad?
You're asking me.
I wasn't mad. What you do is no concern of mine. It makes no difference to me if you choose to refuse me a handkerchief, then have 2 for Robert, 1 for his nose and 1 for his finger, but none for the mayonnaise on my pants. You flatter yourself if you think I bother enough about you to be mad at anything you do.
You're funny.
I'm glad I amuse you.
Getting mad about nothing.
Nothing?
Well, if you think I could care for a boy like Robert, you're just mistaken in the utmost.
Is that so?
He's not my type.
Is that so?
He interests me, but he's not my type at all.
Is that so?
I enjoy boys of another type altogether.
Is that so? Really?
He's not interested in sports or dancing or music or anything like that, which I think a well-rounded boy ought to be.
Is that your idea of a well-rounded boy?
Uh-huh.
Do you know any well-rounded boys?
I've met quite a few, but Robert is certainly not one of them. Of course, I admire his brain.
But you like other kind of boys.
Yes, but I don't see why you should care.
You know I care.
It surely doesn't seem like it sometimes, not in the utmost.
But I do. You bother me in a big way.
Bother you?
Yeah. I mean, I think about you lots. All the time, nearly.
Do you really?
I wouldn't tell that to any other girl.
Why?
I don't know. It might make them think I was lovesick or something. But I don't mind telling you. You're a good sport.
Yes, if there's one thing I am a good sport. And I think you are too.
I like to hear you say that.
Why?
I just do. I like to think of girls that way. Not just as sweethearts or something silly like that to a boy, but as his pals, as good sports.
That's just the way I like to think about boys.
Gwendolyn?
Hmm?
Will you wear my senior ring again?
I guess so, if you want me to.
I do. And also my junior pin?
All right, if you say so.
And this locket?
If you'll promise not to get mad at me again.
I promise. If you promise to go with me steady.
I never want to go with anybody else.
Yeah, but you might. And I don't want you to.
Why?
I don't know. Unless it's just that you're so different.
What do you mean, so different?
Well, you know, just that you're so different. Shh. What's the matter with you?
Shh. I'll tell you.
Where are the others?
That's one time I got away from her.
Is everyone coming back?
See you later. I'm going swimming.
Albert, Ginger says for you not to go swimming.
And she told you not to follow me.
I'm not following you. I just like to be where you are. I think it's more fun.
If everybody's coming back, I don't see why we should go hiking.
Shall we eat now?
Yes, let's do. Let's do something that is fun.
Yes, let's do that. That'll be more fun.
Gwendolyn, do you really want to eat now?
Yes, why?
I mean, after...
After what?
This is private, personal business. Gwendolyn, you know how I feel about you.
How you feel about me?
Yeah, and when I feel this way, I can't eat.
Can't eat?
Can you eat?
You mean am I hungry? I certainly am.
Then it means nothing to you.
What?
It sure shows me how deep your feelings are. A girl that could eat after private, personal, sincere things we've been saying to one another?
Well, can't you eat?
No, not with this feeling inside of me.
You sick or something?
Sick?
Yes, that you can't eat?
Sick. It becomes clear to me that all the time that I am making a great mistake spending my private, personal, sincere feelings on you.
I haven't the most remote idea of what you're talking about.
Well, I guess you'll understand me if I trouble you kindly to give me back my senior ring.
Oh, that's what you mean. Here.
And my junior pin?
Here.
And the locket with my picture in it?
Here.
And this time, I really am coming by your house to get all my letters and that picture of me in my football uniform.
I'll leave them on the front porch just outside the door.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
What are we going to do now?
What do you mean?
Now that we've eaten, what can we do?
I'll tell you. You close your eyes.
Is this a game?
Sure, it's a game. You shut your eyes and count.
How far?
Oh, to 1,000,000 and back.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where are you going?
You're peeping.
I always peep. It's more fun.
But you're not supposed to.
If I don't, you'll slip away, and I'll have to hunt you.
That's it. That's the game. And you want to play, don't you?
Oh, I love to play games. I think they're more fun.
Then shut your eyes.
All right.
You're peeping.
No, I'm not. Now I am.
Say, what's the matter with you anyhow?
Now I'm not. Now I am. Now I'm not. Now I am. Now I'm not. Now I am. Oh, this is more fun.
I give up.
Is the game over? Who won? Did I? If it's over, why don't we go somewhere else?
No!
All right. Let's just sit. I love to sit, don't you?
No!
I do.
Oh, no! Blossom?
Yes.
Blossom.
Yes, Albert.
Blossom. I feel a spell coming on.
What?
Are you afraid of crazy people?
Oh, I sure am.
If a crazy man were to come down the road now, what would you do?
Ooh, I'd run.
You would you?
Ooh, I sure would.
Well, Blossom, I have a horrible secret to tell you. My spells are crazy spells.
They are?
Hold my hand.
Oh, goody.
No, not that way. Hold my hand through this crazy spell I feel coming on.
What's going on?
I never know for sure. Sometimes I bite.
Oh.
It runs in the family. It always starts with the shakes. Hold on here. Here it comes. Hold on.
Oh, that was more fun. Do it again. Wasn't that funny, Sam? Get him to do it again. Sam, look. Here comes Robert and Ginger. You must do it for them.
I give up. I give up.
Well, I guess our blood is circulating.
We must have made record climb up that hill.
And the view up there?
All I could see was spots before my eyes.
That's because you're a stay inside. I'm gonna make you over. We'll have 100,000 lovely times like this. Here, do you want a sandwich?
Let me get my breath, please.
Oh, pardon me, I'm so impatient. I want to get this food eaten so we can listen to you read.
I have a poem to say. Let me say my piece. Let me, please. I want to say my piece.
Of course. That's just what this picnic is for, so all of us can express our emotions.
I'll take that sandwich now.
I knew that hike would make you hungry.
I'm ravenous, really.
Here are 3. Gwen, come on, we're eating.
What is this?
What's the matter?
Crawling all over the sandwich.
Oh my heavens, ants!
It's literally alive with them.
Looky, they're in the sugar.
And the mayonnaise.
Come on, let's kill them. Everybody kill them.
What are ants? Those things?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel sick. I believe they're on that sandwich I ate.
Sam's been eating ants. An ant sandwich. How did it taste, Sam?
I thought it was rye bread with caraway seeds in it.
Well, that was certainly right.
I'll thank you not to make remarks about a person who is not concerned with you. You suppose it could be biting me inside? Ginger? I kinda sting. Oh.
Not if you chew them thoroughly. They wouldn't bite. You should chew each bite 36 times.
They're in everything. What should we do?
We could dust them off.
But there are millions of them.
No wonder. Look under the cloth. It's a whole bed.
Isn't there anything left uncontaminated?
Ugh, they're in the eggs.
And the cake.
I was just getting hungry.
We'll have to throw everything away. Here, Sam, dump these sandwiches somewhere. But we mustn't let this spoil our party. The food's gone, but we have the beautiful day and Robert's poetry. Hurry up, let's clear all this aside and lose ourselves in Robert's poetry.
Sam, watch where you're throwing those things.
Oh.
Well, I've always known you weren't a gentleman, but I never expect you would throw things at me.
Gee, Gwendolyn.
You obliged me by not speaking to me in the utmost.
I never meant to. Gwendolyn, you know I didn't. I'm sorry. Gee, I'm sorry.
Please.
You don't think I did it on purpose?
I'm not interested in why you did it. Not in the utmost.
Come on, let's not spoil this lovely day with quarreling.
Gwendolyn, listen to me.
Well,
I mean, I'm sorry about everything. Not just a sandwich, but everything. You know what? And I surely wish you'd take back my senior ring.
And your junior pin?
And my junior pin. I'll talk for myself, brat.
Yes, go on.
And this locket. Honestly, Gwendolyn, I don't want to be mad at you.
No, why?
Well, I can't say it out in public this way. It's private, personal, sincere business. But you know what I mean.
I think they're gonna be alright again now. You start reading your poetry.
Will you take them, Gwendolyn?
What would you like to hear?
I'll take them if you promise not to get mad at me again.
Let's go home. I want to watch Netflix.
Of course. You gotta promise to go with me steady.
Would you like some verses from the Rubaiyat?
I'm just crazy about Stranger Things, aren't you? Don't you just get scared to death?
Oh, I think the Rubaiyat is lovely.
I want to go home and watch Netflix.
Are you proud to wear those again, Gwendolyn? Say you're proud.
Sit down, everybody. Robert's gonna read.
Alright, I'm proud.
You know, there's sure one thing about you, Gwendolyn. You're different.
Albert, sit. Sit by him, Blossom.
Oh, no, she doesn't.
What do you mean, different?
A book of verses underneath the bough. I think that might be appropriate.
I don't know. Just different.
Quiet, everybody, quiet. He's starting to read.
A book of verses underneath the bough. A jug of wine, a loaf of bread.
Louder and funnier.
And thou,
Hush, Albert.
beside me, singing in the wilderness.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, wilderness, we're paradise enow. That's great, that is.
Yes, and here we are under a bough and everything.
I want to go home and watch Netflix.
And this one, it just says so much. The moving finger writes, and having grit moves on, nor all your pity nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it.
Isn't that just too true for words?
Hush up and let him go on.
I wish we had a TV so I could watch Netflix.
Really, Gwendolyn, you don't need to shout.
Nah, who do you think you are?
Did you like that?
Yes.
And I suppose you understand what it means?
No.
Oh dear, Gwendolyn, you're so innocent and unassuming.
I calls it dumb.
No, I don't know what he means, but it sounded alright.
You liked my reading?
It sounded beautiful.
Then here's one for you, especially.
What do you mean, for her especially?
He means he's reading this one to me.
Oh, and the rest of us can't listen, I suppose.
Go ahead, Robert, please.
Gwendolyn, since when have you considered poetry reading part of a well-rounded man?
Hush, Sam, hush.
Why don't we go home?
Hush, hush.
If he's got to read, he could read as we ride home.
We might do that. It's clouding up a little.
Is there or is there not going to be quiet?
Why, of course, Robert.
Yes, quiet.
Oh, yes, this one's for Gwendolyn. We must all be quiet.
Quiet!
Quiet!
A blight, a gloom.
A what?
I know not what.
But you just said it.
Will you please be quiet?
Yes, but...
I said blight. B-L-I-G-H-T.
Well, that's that.
Well, really, one doesn't read poetry with a dictionary at one's elbow.
No. Hush, Albert.
All I asked was a civil question.
A blight, a gloom, I know not what.
If you can't ask a civil question,
Has crept upon my gladness some vague, remote, ancestral touch.
It's sprinkling a little.
Of sorrow or of madness. A fear that is not a fear. A pain that has not pain's insistence. Oh, a sense of longing, of loss in some foregone existence. Oh, a subtle hurt that neither pen has writ nor tongue has spoken. Such a hurt, perchance, as nature feels when a blossom bough is broken. Ouch!
What's the matter?
It's ants. He's got ants in his pants.
Can I help? Where are they biting?
Gwendolyn.
What are you laughing at, Ginger?
Yes, just what is so funny?
He's got ants in his pants.
Ants in his pants.
Oh,
Ooh, what can I do?
there are millions of them.
Ginger, I always thought you were no lady, and now to see you laughing?
He was standing right on a bed of ants.
Oh.
Of all the rude things.
Who was rude? I'm never rude. I think the most important thing in the world is to not be rude.
It's sprinkling.
Here, Robert, please let me do something.
You're kind, but
Are you in great pain?
great pain.
Oh, this is terrible.
Hey, it's raining.
Gwendolyn, I want to talk to you.
Never had I had quite so miserable of a day.
Well, really?
I mean that. I had a perfectly wonderful afternoon all planned. I was going to go to the library and read the Pre-Raphaelite poem, but no, you had to drag me out here and get me bitten by ants.
Of all things, as if I was the one who set those ants on you?
And now it looks like as if we'll be drenched to the skin.
I'm literally covered with bites.
Well, really, to carry on sober, a few little ant stings.
A few? To be laughed at was rude enough, but to be mocked by you, Ginger? Seriously?
That's unfilling in the utmost.
Gwendolyn, I want to talk to you.
Hey, let's go. Don't you know enough to get out, in and out of the rain?
Oh, Rain, isn't this more fun?
Now, Rain, it's too much. Have you no top for that car?
I do, but if you think I'm going to pause in your company to put it up, you're mistaken.
That's alright with us. The sooner Robert and I are taken into town and dropped, the better.
Gwendolyn!
What?
Gwendolyn, I want to talk to you.
Oh, no, you don't. Here's your senior ring.
All right.
Here's your junior pin.
All right.
And here's the locket.
All right.
Come on, let's go. I'm cold. Hurry, Ginger. Start this thing and let's go. Come on, Sam, you dope.
Oh, isn't this rain more fun? Haven't this just been the best picnic? Haven't you just had more fun?
No.
You must take the A train to go to Sugar Hill way up in Harlem. If you miss the A train, you'll find you've missed the quickest way to Harlem. Hurry, get on now, it's coming. Listen to those bells a thumbing. All aboard, get on that A train. Soon you will be on Sugar Hill in Harlem. Get.
Did you know that there are 30,753 public school districts in the United States? It's true. I went to the school library and looked it up. That's a lot of school districts. And if you figure that each of these 30,753 public school districts each has at least 2 high schools, that's a lot of public high schools. Some have more, some less, but the average is 2. Now, the average school district is something like 2,500 students, so you figure 2,500 students divided by 12 grades is 208.33 students per grade. Round it off to 208. Multiply the 208 times 4 for the number of grades in an average high school, and you get 832. Now multiply that 832 average number of high school students times the 30,753 public school districts times 2 accounting for high schools in each district, and you have 51,173,992 public high school students, more or less. And that's just the public schools. Add to that the private schools, the Catholic schools, and a couple of dozen or so academies and military schools. That's a lot of high school students. Here, there are only 18 of us. My name is Risa Althoff. That's Risa, R-I-S-A, not Lisa, L-I-S-A. I have creative parents. And that's Andrea O'Brien, the class valedictorian. And Jessica and Josh, Katie McGrew, well, everybody knows about Katie. Mark Saunders, in 2 words, Hubba Bubba. Sherry, Dottie, Bobby. Gail Ensign, our resident poet. Warren Webster, he spends more time in the principal's office than the principal does. Christopher Cutler, and Colleen Woodhouse. Dina, she's new. Craig Bowersman, super jock. Emily Valentine, Patsy Sue Gretz, and oh yeah, Jason. That's us, the senior class. Fairly homogeneous, overwhelmingly white, predominantly Protestant, rural and working class. Mostly 2-parent families, usually with several siblings. Family is really important around here, and school is an extension, really, of those families. In fact, the official school policy includes the goal for the school is to foster a close family atmosphere. We're just one class from one country school, not precisely representational sampling, too small to be statistically accurate, exactly.
You know, someone should write a play about me. Only me. Not a major musical extravaganza, just a little one-act character study thing. I wonder if Neil Simon's busy. And starring, let's see, she'd be a cross between Bette Midler, Donna Reed, Madonna, maybe, and Julia Roberts. That about covers it. See, I'm a very complex person. I mean, it's very confusing. Am I boring you? If I am, just tell me. I won't stop, but it's still important to know. My father says I could talk a rock to death. Understand he's only said a total of 27 words to me in the past 3 months, and that's only because I crunched into this tiny little infinitesimal Volkswagen. So, eliminating the unprincipled words, father has only uttered about 11. Father. It's always been father. Not dad, not daddy, and never, God forbid, pops. Father is a redneck. A confirmed true blue redneck. Rednecked from his nostrils to his navel, and probably further. He drinks beer with my Uncle Buddy, watches professional wrestling, and voted for Reagan. Twice. I gotta get out of here.
Advanced English Composition,
Developmental Senior English,
Anatomy and Physiology,
Principles of Farm Management,
Human Growth and Development,
Small Engines,
Fundamentals of Speech,
Animal Nutrition,
Advanced Calculus,
Study Hall,
British Literature Tutorial,
Study Hall,
American Government,
and Gym. It's going to be a long semester.
St. Peter was interviewing this really hot chick at the pearly gates. See, while you were in Earth, St. Peter asked, did you ever indulge in necking, petting, smoking, or drinking? Never, 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 she protested. Then why haven't you reported sooner? You've been dead for a long time.
First and higher order equations. Problem 1. Slope at First and higher order equations. Problem 1. Slope at any point xy of a curve is 1 plus yx. If the curve passes through 1, 1, find its equation. Right. I'm gonna funk this class and stuff for sure. I hate calculus.
I hate homework.
Y equals X times 1 plus when Mr. Anderson lectures, I take notes. See, he used the exact same problem as an example in class last Thursday.
Look at these notes. It's Anderson's lecture. Word for word. She even writes down his jokes and stuff.
Mr. Anderson has no sense of humor.
Mr. Anderson has no lips.
Everybody has lips.
Honest. Look, sometimes the man has no lips.
Ah, come on.
He has a chin. He has that cheesy little mustache. He has a nose. He has those beady little rat eyes. He even has that stringy, greasy hair he combs over the top of his head that's supposed to hide his bald spot. But nowhere on that face does he have lips. I have no idea how the sound comes out.
Why are we doing this?
Doing what?
Discussing Anderson's lack of lips and stuff.
Know this. First and higher order equation, advanced calculus, like when in real life, and I'm going to need to know that y equals x times 1 plus 1 n times x.
The idea of homework is to reinforce in-class lessons, to increase the study time of the material beyond the standard class period. The individual problem is...
This problem is the problem. There's no reason whatsoever for me, for any rational person, to be concerned with a slope at any point.
It could be useful.
How?
You could become a math teacher.
Like Mr. Anderson?
Bad example.
Okay, well, you could become an architect, or computer designer, or draftsman.
Draftsperson?
Whatever.
I still hate this problem.
I still hate calculus.
And I still hate homework.
Are you sure Mr. Anderson has no lip?
So, it's spring, rain, the flu, and the annual Girl Axe Boy formal. Sponsored by the French Club, chaperoned by the principal and the coach, with the local band in yellow and white and blue streamers, and lukewarm punch unspiked in. It's in 3 weeks. Spring, rain, the flu, and the annual Girl Axe Boy spring formal. Annual Girl Axe Boy spring formal. Who wants to go to that stupid old dance anyhow?
Andrea, Andy.
Yeah?
Did you hear?
Hear what?
Who asked who to Friday's game?
Whom?
Well, someone.
I'm late for class.
Mark.
Saunders?
I knew that would get your attention. Mark, your ex, is dating, are you ready? Katie McGrew, teen tramp.
So?
So? You're not disturbed that Mark dumped you for a girl who slept with the entire football team? And I heard she got caught in the boys' showers with Warren Webster.
I'm late.
It doesn't bother you about your ex and her?
Mark is not my ex. He isn't my anything.
Whatever you say.
No, it's not whatever you say. Just look, I don't have time for hearsay and gossip. If it's something important, then get on with it. And if it's not...
So Mark is important?
That's not what I meant.
That's what you said.
Mark is not important. We dated a couple of times. We broke up 6 months ago. What he does is his business.
If you say so.
Will you just drop it?
I'll never understand how you let that stud get away.
I didn't let him get away.
Anything you say.
There was this old man and this old woman in a nursing home. So one day, see, the old man says to the old woman, "I bet you can't guess my age," says the old man. "I bet I can," says the old lady. "Bet you can. Bet you can. Bet you can't. Can't. Okay," says the old man. "Tell me, how old am I?" "First, you have to take off all your clothes," says the old lady. "No way," says the old guy. "Look, you want me to tell how old you are?" "Sure," says the old lady. Yeah, says the old guy. "See," and he takes his clothes off. "You're 84, says the old lady. "That's amazing," says the old guy. "How'd you guess my age?" The old lady says, "Guess? Hell, you told me yesterday."
Just a couple of offhand comments. I don't want to criticize my school, but this place is falling apart. Everybody knows it. He only works about half the time. Everything needs painted, need new books. It's crowded. Bogus teachers, pointless homework assignments, boring classes. My cousin goes to this huge school. They've got everything. buildings, equipment, great teachers, classes like computers, philosophy, creative dramatics. Out here, like for example, computers. Yeah, we got a couple of them. These El Cheapo Apple PC jobs in the hallway by the library, and anyone can use them on your own time. And if you can figure it out by yourself, because none of the teachers know what they're doing with them. Or like another example, we do this all school play every year. This year, Miss Medina, she's the drama coach. Well, she's planning, are y'all ready for this? Bridgerton. Scottish accents? Yeah, right. And guys in skirts? Kilts? Get a grip. Anyways, the stage is this little thing tucked onto the end of the gym. Coach Tiggs keeps the weight training equipment there most of the year. Smells like a locker room. We have to rehearse around barbells and junk to opening night. The only good thing about country school is that, well, you know everybody. Hell, half the kids are related to the other half. Colleen and Jason are cousins. Emily and Dottie are cousins. So are Sherry and Craig, I think. And if you ever believe it, Andrea O'Brien and Warren Webster are sorta, kinda, somehow distantly related. Unreal. Another bad part, everybody knows everything about everybody. There are absolutely no secrets. Nothing's private, personal. The major form of entertainment is the 3-day-old rumor. Everybody knows this, everybody knows that. Everybody knows something else. A major burr in the backside.
We had to write this poem for senior English composition about my thoughts and reflections of home, right? The teachers on this big poetry kick, the use of imagery, creative language, imaginative word choice, that kind of stuff. So everybody's writing this mushy crud, loving flowers, cutesy puppies, perfect mothers and fathers by the fireplace, goddamn butterflies, real Ozzie and Harriet. Mrs. Selville, that's the English teacher, loved them. She was giving out A's and B's like there was no tomorrow. Hallmark card patterns, perfect rhymes, da-dee-da, da-dee-da, da-dee-da. Real textbook and real dull. Then I turned this in. Soggy purple sky, evening comes. Mama's in the kitchen fixing dinner, tuna casserole again. Papa drags in from the mills, gray and unsmiling, turning on the TV to reruns. He stares at, not watching really, the flickering black and white images. Upstairs, I sit in my room, my secondhand royal writing pages no eyes will read. Dinner is always the same. The smells, the taste, the conversations, sisters chirping of who was where, with whom. Is this my life? Is this my destiny? The hills that bind to river its course bind me also. It will be dark soon. The boys will traditionally Friday night screech the tires of their daddy's cars just one more time, and then the town will settle to crickets. I'll dream maybe morning will be different. Yet dawn slips in, unnoticed, still soggy. Another day begins.
I have a 4.0 grade point average. I'm a member of the National Honor Society and listed in Who's Who among American high school students. I'm a member of the French Club, the Student Council, and the International Thespian Society. I play first clarinet in the concert band, and I'm on both the newspaper and yearbook staff. But I still don't have a date. The only guy I ever really dated was Mark Saunders. Class hunk, drop-dead handsome, great sense of humor, star player of baseball and track. We've known each other since the beginning of time, practically. Grew up together, hung out together. So it seemed like a good idea to date each other. I mean, we have the same friends, end up in the same places. Wrong. It's like dating your brother. Well, so much for that idea. Which leaves the question, how do I solve this dating dilemma? Well, I could date someone around here, but the choices are definitely limited. Like, let's have a roll call, all right? Chris Coulter, he's too quiet. Craig Bowerman, too loud. Warren Webster, that's my cousin. Josh, well, I don't know. Mark Saunders, wrong. See what I mean? Very limited choices. Still, there is college. I mean, I graduate at the end of the year, and hey, the dating possibilities at your average university have got to be an improvement over this, right? Well, until then.
If you live on a farm, you get up early. Real early. Because on a farm, there's a lot to get done. And you gotta start early. Cows don't like to wait. Every day you help feed the cows, milk the cows, then you grab a shower, chow down breakfast, and catch the school bus. Then what? 6 or 7 hours at school? 6 or 7 hours at school. Then I go to work at this little convenience store and gas station my uncle owns. I work there 1 day a week, usually Wednesday, and then all weekend. Hey, working at the store is my vacation. Like, you stock shelves, wait on customers, pump gas. It's easy. Then home, start homework, start chores, cows again. Finish homework, dinner in there somewhere. Finish chores, sleep. Next day, start all over again, early. You know, I don't get city kids. They got it easy. Like, what are chores to a city kid? Clean your room maybe, cut the lawn. Big deal. Have you ever had to chase a cow through a snowstorm? Do city kids have to chase cows through a damned blizzard? No, they're doing their city chores like washing Daddy's car or weeding Mother's flower bed, or God forbid, something strenuous like taking out the trash. Me, I'm stuck in the snow with a cow. Life isn't fair.
Hey, Patsy, I got a story for you.
Not another of your dumb jokes.
No, honest, you'll love this.
We'll see.
So, once upon a time, there was this fairy princess, see?
A fairy princess?
Yeah, so you see, this was a very modern type fairy princess. She was real health conscious, environmentally aware, you know? Anyways, one day, this fairy princess was out for her morning jog through the woods. She was jogging along. All of a sudden, she hears this voice. "Yo, princess," says the voice. Well, this fairy princess looks around, and all she sees is this frog. And she looks again, and then she suddenly realized, hey, this is a talking frog.
A talking frog?
You got a problem with that? Anyways, this talking frog says to the princess, "Hey, princess, yeah, it's me." My, says the princess, "I do declare a talking frog." "Look," says the frog, "I'm not a talking frog. Actually, I'm an enchanted prince. See, this wicked witch put a spell on me."
Yeah, right.
That's what the princess said. "Yeah, right," says the princess. "No, honest," says the frog, "I'm really enchanted prince. And if you take me home and let me sleep on your pillow, I'll turn back into a handsome prince." So see, the princess thinks up to herself, what the heck, I've got nothing to lose. So she picks up the frog and jogs back to the castle, and she puts the frog on her pillow and goes to sleep. And the next morning, the princess wakes up. See, and oh and behold, there next to her was a handsome prince. Now, do you believe this princess's story?
No.
Neither did her mother.
Stop it. Get some help.
Andrea O'Brien, class brain. I can never ask her out. I tried to once, I started to, but I chickened out. She'll never date an Aggie. Like, school's divided into 3 parts. The brains, the jocks, and the Aggies. The brains. Andrea's one of them. Christopher Coulter, I guess. Definitely Risa Athoff and Gail Ernson. They get all the good grades, in real tight with teachers. Or like Colleen Woodhouse, with the lead in every school play since she was a freshman. They're sorta untouchable, the neat elite. The jocks, Mark Saunders, Craig Bowerman, Jessica, maybe, being she's a cheerleader and all. Jocks get everything. Pictures in the paper every week. Or like when the school board had to decide whether to hire more teachers or build a new gymnasium. Guess what happened? Ta-da! New gym. And the jocks get away with everything too. It's like rules don't apply to them. Like drinking. Possession is supposed to get you a 3-event activity suspension. Drunk is 5-day in-school suspension, plus custodial duties. Well, it's supposed to work that way. Like everybody knows that Craig Bowerman is the biggest partier around. All the kids know, common knowledge. The principal has to know. And the coach has got to be covering for him. Nobody ever says a word to the captain of the football team. Not good for the team image. The Aggies, the vocational agricultural students. Me, Sherry, Warren Webster, Patsy Sue Groots, the chick in the office. All the vocational rooms are down one end of this long hallway. And the agricultural classes are down there, and the wood shop, and the mechanic shop, and even the secretarial classrooms. If we didn't have to go to the cafeteria for lunch, hell, nobody would know we were here. I think they planned it that way. You know, out of sight, out of mind. Like it's some kind of high school exile or limbo, maybe. What are we, leapers? Anyways, we're pretty much ignored. Which is fine. I'm here, that's it. I do my time, I don't hassle anybody. Like, you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone.
You ready? To be or to not to be? This is the question whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing in them, to die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep, to say we end. The heartache and the thousand natural shocks, that flesh is here too, 'tis the consumption, devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep, perchance a dream. Surprise? Me, Mark Saunders, one of the jocks spouting Hamlet, kinda caught you off guard. Yeah, I can quote Shakespeare, and I can pass advanced English composition, anatomy and physiology, human growth and development, fundamentals of speech, advanced calculus, American government, and even British literature tutorial. Just like the brains, I'm no straight A Andrea, but I do okay. See, I'm a jock. Well, I'm on the baseball team and the track team, so that makes me a jock, I guess. My dad is really proud of it all. He cuts out every newspaper story, every score. He's keeping the scrapbook just like my grandfather did for him back when my dad was in high school. And I guess that's cool. I mean, dad's happy with the jock son, and I enjoy the attention. But I figured out that there's more to high school than being an athlete, right? See, not all jocks are the same. Look at Bowerman. What's he? Some small-time high school hero? And that's it. Craig will probably graduate, get a job at the mill, drink beer with his buddies, get married, bang out a couple of kids, and get nowhere fast. You can't get through being popular or good-looking or even a job. You gotta have something to back it up, right? For me, if being a jock gets me a college scholarship, then hey, I'll be a jock. Because a scholarship gets me a degree, a college degree gets me a decent job, and a decent job gets me out of here. To die, to sleep, perchance a dream.
Dandelion seeds. You and your tiny parachutes, carried by the spring breezes to God only knows where, while I sit in my cage, gilded but still a cage, reading travel magazines of Rome or Paris or London, and I dream of being dandelion seeds.
Guess who I ran into? Katie McGrew. No, really, I ran into her. Not like ran into like a chance meeting, more like ran into as in smash, splatter, and burn. Classes are changing, everybody's in the hall, it's crowded. I turn around not looking where I'm going and crash into Katie. Down she goes flat on her, books everywhere. Kids are laughing and snickering. Totally uncool. I'm apologizing, stuttering, trying to get her books and papers stuff back together. Katie's dang near crying. She's embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. And I'm sure she's thought that I did it on purpose, but it was an accident. Honest. Then we're both late to our next class, so we both have to go to the office and explain everything and get a pass from the takes. And he's being a pain about it. It's like the coach playing 20 questions. What happened? Where did the incident occur? Incident? Who witnessed the incident? What time did the incident occur? How did the incident occur? Did you report the incident to the school nurse? Etc., etc., etc. Katie will never speak to me again.
Hey, what you know how to make a cheerleader smile on Friday night? Tell her a joke on Thursday afternoon.
He called me a jerk. Me? Do you believe it? Now, upon what would you base such a commentary? True, I am a basically outspoken person, and I do tend to be a tad overbearing, but always for cause. Take Craig Bowerman, please. I was getting a drink from the fountain in the hall. He passes by and he grabs my... Well, you get the idea. Just because you're a cheerleader and just because you happen to be wearing this ridiculously short skirt and just because you're reasonably attractive, then men, boys, think you're fair game. Nothing, just simple macho posturing. Anyway, I turn around, I call him over, and I tell him that if he ever touches my person again, he'll be singing soprano for the rest of his life. That is, if he has a rest of his life. Now, I ask you, is that being a jerk?
What a jerk, Jesse. Here's what really happened. Classes are changing, right? Jessica's getting a drink, I goose her. Hey, she's a cheerleader. That's what cheerleaders are for, right? It was a joke. And she freaks, starts screaming and hollering, and even threatens me. Me! I don't get her. Like, she's always hanging around the football team, or the basketball team, baseball team, or the track team, or whatever team, and wearing this little cheerleader thing, this little skirt, real tight sweater, jumping up and down at every game, wiggling and waving at the guys. I mean, she's a tease. And then to get bent out of shape when a guy sort of comes onto her, geez, she should be grateful I noticed she was up there.
Okay, don't get the wrong impression. Life around here is not boring. For example, I had to go to court. No, they didn't arrest me, yet I only had to testify. You see, what happened was, well, I was on my way to Spanish class, taking the scenic route by the way of the teacher's lounge. Anyways, I looked out the window and there he was, this dirty old man just standing in the parking lot. So I watched for a while, and he stood there for a while. I watched, he stood, I watched, he stood. Then Miss Yardle went out to the parking lot, going to lunch, I suppose. You gotta understand, Miss Yardle is the principal's secretary, and she's at least 120 years old. She's been around here longer than they've had indoor plumbing. Anyways, she heads for her car, she turns around, and then he flashes the old girl. Miss Yardle screams. I about lost it. Now, this 2-bit flasher ain't all that bright. Miss Yardle screams, Flash panics and makes a run for it, with his pants around his ankles. Halfway across the parking lot, he trips the gravel parking lot. It was not a pretty sight. Comical, but not pretty. And when we got to court, the little scuzz pleads innocent. Innocent. Do you believe that? Hell, the entire home ec class was watching. Of course, he was convicted, and I have to admit, I enjoyed getting the grease ball, which is a rotten attitude, but you treat a dirty old man, well, like a dirty old man. It's human nature. Now, if Flash had been gorgeous and your basic Tom Cruise clone, I'd have said, oh, let the poor misguided thing go. Wouldn't you? Hold on. Hold that thought.
So, there was this traveling salesman, see, and he was driving along through this terrible storm when his car breaks down, see? So he stops at this farmhouse, see, where this farmer says, sure, you can spend the night, but I gotta warn you, I got these 12 daughters, and they...
Hold it right there.
He says, these 12 daughters... who are all studying to play the trombone.
Stop.
And hey, I'm telling a joke here.
Jason, think. Where do I live?
Out on 52?
On a farm. And what exactly do my parents do for a living?
How should I know? Raise pigs?
Cows.
Whatever.
Which makes them farmers, right? Which makes me a
farmer's daughter?
Right, so I give very careful consideration before I finish your joke if I were you.
And they live happily ever after.
At midday, between the river and the railroad tracks, young men, leaning in the shadows, telling tales of ladies. They have known each better than the other. Further down the street, where the alley grows into brambles and thistles, two young mothers hang laundry and swap tidbits of the neighborhood. And the old men sit on the steps of Rosie's Bar and Grill and complain. The snow comes and goes, the names of the children change with the generations, but their stone faces, even the seasons, cannot erase.
I have discovered that I am a terminally organized person in a totally disorganized world. Organization is virtue. I know that everything has its place and that everything should be in its designated place. That is efficiency. Take socks. SOCKS, for example. Yes, the humble sock. Long-suffering and much tread upon. My sock drawer is a team of organization. The drawer is Roy G. Bived. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. In order. Then black, then white. The key to organization is to have a system and to stick faithfully and unwaveringly to that system. Hence, the Roy G. Biv system. If it will work for rainbows, it will work for socks. Most people, boys specifically, have no sock system. Organization, my friends, is a distinctly feminine trait.
Yo, Mark.
Hey.
So
what?
So you and Katie? We seen you two at the game and at McD's talking in the parking lot.
Yeah, we were talking.
So, did ya?
That's none of your business.
Come on, did ya?
Leave me alone.
Hey, everyone else has. I have. And Warren. Hell, the whole football team has.
No.
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 Right. The easiest chick in the senior class, in the entire school, in the entire state, and you didn't even score?
No, I didn't score.
You didn't even try.
Hey, you can talk to a girl without trying to jump her.
Jeez, what a win.
Back off.
Jerk.
I'm an office aide, sort of a junior secretary. I work in the office instead of going to study hall. Not that this is a career choice or anything, you understand. I just hate study hall. See, I'm planning on something more than being just a secretary. More like just Secretary of State. But I kind of fell into this, you know. It happens. And so I'm taking all these secretarial courses. Typing, basic and advanced general office practices, bookkeeping, filing theory. Filing theory? It's not that I can't deal with college prep, mind you. I'm no Aggie. I could have breezed the classes, but in college prep, you have to take general biology in your sophomore year. And in biology, you have to dissect a frog, and I don't do frog things. Anyways, like I said, it beats sitting in study hall. And it's sort of entertaining. Like the coach. Officially, Mr. Tiggs is the assistant principal / athletic director. But let's face it, the only thing he ever really does is coach. What a jerk. Anyways, I'm sitting there at Miss Yardley's desk typing something truly mindless. And the coach saunters out of his office. He always saunters and says something trite, like, "You're just pecking away at those keys, aren't you, hon?" Then I'd answer, "I bet you're a great little pecker yourself." Then I'd blush. And he'd saunter back into his office, close the door, and giggle. Swear to God, Coach Tiggs giggles. Anyways, he'd be thinking he'd treat me into saying something dirty. It's a game. Only he doesn't know he's playing. And while he's giggling in his office, I can finish my English homework, finish my government homework, sneak up for a cigarette, type a note to my best friend, and do my nails. This girl is no fool.
Dear Diary, 5th hour study hall. Average day, I suppose. Lunch was the pits. Your choice. Either reheated fish sticks or chipped turkey on toast. Some choice. But I did get to talk to that new girl. Dina? She's okay. Craig and Jessica are feuding again. Big time yelling and stuff. I think they got the hots and stuff for each other and won't admit it. Warren got called into the office again. Nobody knows what for yet. I have to ask Patty Sue, because she knows everything that goes on in there. Gail sent some of her poems to this fancy literary magazine. They got rejected. She's depressed, but Gail's always depressed. But the newest bulletin of the day so far, Miss Medina announced the cast for the big all-school Brigadoon musical today. I'm just in the chorus. That's okay. And Colleen has a lead. Big surprise. Jessica is playing this tiny little part at the end of the second act. She's not going to be happy. Dottie and Andrea and Katie and Jason and Christopher and Bobby are in the chorus too. Sherry's got a solo. Mark is opposite Colleen. Could be interesting. And Risa is playing a man's part. Mr. Lund, the old guy. Because we don't have enough guys and stuff for all the parts. Yeah, average day.
What do you call a man with no arms, no legs at your front door? Matt. What do you call a man with no arms, no legs hanging on a wall? Art. What do you call a man? No. What do you call two men with no arms, no legs hanging on a wall? Kurt and Rod. What do you call a man with no arms, no legs floating in a river? Bob. What do you call a man with no arms, no legs on a baseball field? Second base. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. What do you call a dog with no legs? What's the use? He couldn't come play with you.
Freeze, slime.
Yo, Jess, how's it going, sweet cheeks?
Cut the sweet cheeks, okay?
Sure.
Spring formal. Wanna go?
Jess, I didn't know you cared.
I don't. This is strictly a business proposition.
Come again.
A business proposition?
I heard. I just don't understand.
I'll talk slower. The prince and the princess of the spring formal are voted on by the entire school. Well, everybody at the spring formal. And it's always the most popular couple. Get it?
Yeah, so what's that got to do with me?
So, I figure if we go to the dance with separate dates, we'll split the votes, and neither of us wins. But if we go together, we'll have enough votes together to win prince and princess together. Get it?
Getting it.
Good.
What's in it for me?
Prince of the spring formal.
And what else?
Hands off, bucko.
I don't know.
Greg, look. If you're not interested, hey, just say so. No pressure or anything. Oh, I nearly forgot. Now, I didn't want to bring this up, but I had the most interesting chat with Katie.
You did, huh?
Katie McGrew? Just girl talk. She was most informative, insightful, enlightening, really. So, I ask again. Spring formal, wanna go?
Well, I guess so.
Wise choice. You'll have to rent a tux.
Then you pay for dinner.
Fine, you drive.
And if you want flowers, buy your own.
Deal?
Deal. A simple business proposition.
A simple business proposition.
Look, I know what everybody says. Katie McGrew, teen tramp. Or Katie McGrew, easiest chick in the senior class. Or, oh, I get a kick out of this one. Katie McGrew, scalped the whole football team. Yeah, I've heard them. All of them. If you believe even half of those stories going around about me, I mean, there's just ain't enough hours in the day. Like this hot shower with Warren Webster. Warren Webster, get real. What happened was, I'm going to my locker, which happens to be right next to the door to the boys' locker room. And Craig Bowerman grabs me from behind, hauls me into the shower room, and throws me in. Unfortunately, Warren's still in the shower. That's it. All the guys are standing around laughing, you know, big joke, and the coach storms in, takes me into the office where the principal chews my ear out for an hour for being in the boys' locker room and for inappropriate behavior. I try to explain, but nobody listens. And of course, nobody dares to rat out on Bowerman. See, what happened was, Craig and I went out a couple of times, nothing serious, nothing happened. I mean, we didn't fool around or anything. Anyway, one night, he wants to, I say no, and he gets ticked off. 2 days later, he throws me in the shower with Warren. And I'm sure Bowerman was in on the rumor that I slept with the entire football team. Look, I'm no saint, but come on. Contrary to popular belief, I have never, close to a couple of times, but never. I just want to find the right guy that doesn't believe all that crap. I went to the game with Mark Saunders. God only knows what people are talking about over that. But hey, Mark's a buddy. Like a brother almost. That's it. No romance whatsoever. So we talked. I can always talk to him. We have a lot in common. Like, he's tired of being a jock, and I'm tired of being the school punching board. Well, of being talked about like I'm the school punching board. Anyway, we talk about everything. School, the future, guys, and girls, the spring formal. It's this girl likes guy thing. I'm not going. Can't. I mean, think about it. What would happen if I asked one of these bozos to spring formal? What they all think about me. And even if all those stories aren't true, and they aren't, any of these jerks will expect me to be putting out if I even thought about asking one of them to the dance. Except maybe one.
Did you hear the one about the priest, the minister, and the rabbi? Well, they're in the lifeboat, see? And the lifeboat's got this slow leak, see? And, never mind.
Will you go to the dance with me, Christopher?
Yes.